Hey guys, welcome to EVLite Gaming. Today, as you can see, we have a Conspiracy Take the Crown booster box. This set just recently came out. It is a supplemental product meant to be similar to like the Commander series and basically cards that cannot be played in Standard. So I just kind of wanted to do a bit of an opening video, maybe give you an idea. I know originally there were some questions floating around about if in this set the Conspiracy draft specific cards could take the place of a rare, and I do believe that they can. So that's something different, but I guess we'll find out for sure together. I do think that it has been confirmed though that is a possibility. So, our booster box, pretty cool. Let's see. I tell you what, we're just gonna keep it like that, and I guess we'll keep this one over here. We'll most likely do this in a two-part video again, but let's just start it up and we will see. So this set, once again, supplemental, but it does have products that can be played in both Legacy and Vintage, along with any of the casual formats like Commander and so on, which obviously there's going to be some Commander bombs in here. And we'll do like we do on normal videos, where maybe the first half we'll go through all the uncommons and commons, and then we might speed it up a little bit since a lot of these are reprints, and there's a good amount of them from Theros, which I came in around Theros, so I guess to me it may seem like it was just around the corner, but it's been a little while since it's been out. So Caller of the Untamed and Hold the Perimeter. Pretty sweet. Then gotta love the Monarch mechanic for this set. I mean, I know the Spikes probably won't enjoy this format so much, but I've already drafted it a few different times, and it's my favorite draft format, I would say. My favorite draft set that I've ever drafted. So if you haven't drafted it and you do enjoy drafting, then I highly suggest going to your local game store, asking if they have any events. I've heard that several places have already stopped doing events just because the estimated value of this box is going to be pretty low. All the bombs, Berserk, Show and Tell, and then the new Sanctum prelate, all of those have already dropped tremendously. So you're really not going to be opening one of these for the value. It's going to be more kind of what I'm doing, just, for fun. Get some cool reprints. I don't think we've actually pulled any yet, but you've got Birds of Paradise, Inquisition of Kozilek, the big one, Serum Visions. So don't expect a ton of don't expect to get your return, I would say, but not as far as money goes, but as far as fun goes, I mean, it was well worth it for me. Foil Shimmering Grotto. Symbol the Rank and Vile. Love that card. I have to assume that it's like a play on the card Assemble the Ranks, but you've got the Rank and Vile. So I don't think that we've really had any bombs yet. As far as reprints. Okay, our first mythic, and we've got a foil Garrulous Garrulous Sycophant. Incendiary it isn't. So this is our first mythic rare, Platinum Angel. It's a decent reprint. I've already got a few for myself, but I mean, it's nice to have just in general. Pretty cool card. I think we may pick it up here just a second. That's a pretty sweet reprint. Burning Wish. I actually got to use that in draft along with there's a card in the set called Arcane Savant. I get to use that in draft. Red was not in my color, but since I drafted that card, the Arcane Savant says you can show it before the game starts and pick an instant or sorcery that you drafted but didn't actually, it's not in your deck, and whenever he's enters the battlefield, you actually get to play it for free. So I actually got to Burning Wish for free, even though it wasn't my colors. It's pretty sweet. Obviously, it kind of depends on where you're playing as to how you're going to let the Burning Wish resolve, but I actually played it here, ended up just grabbing a Time Walk, you know, just whatever. Time Walk in draft. It's all pretty normal. I guess I should specify non-cube draft. Gratuitous Violence, and then another Incendiary Descent. But yeah, so a lot of people are pretty mad because in the first conspiracy set, all of the draft specific cards would take the place of the conspiracy card rather than the rare like they do in this set. I unfortunately have not been paying that much attention. I don't know if we've actually gotten a rare yet in the... Okay, so not there at least. A draft specific rare in the rare slot, but we'll keep an eye on that. A lot of people, once again, not real happy because everybody wants to get money back when they buy stuff, but you know, once again, I just think as long as you enjoy drafting, this set pays dividends. Merfolk. There's a pretty cool reprint of a Mythic, Duskmantle Seer. The card can be ridiculous if, depending on how your opponent's decks turn out. Bonds of Quicksilver. That Regicide, I can tell you from experience, is very good. I think anytime, now yes, granted, you have to hit it in your opponent's colors, but anytime you can get a 1 mana, I guess I should specify, a 1 mana kill spell, especially in draft, I mean, it was just a bomb. It's incredible. So, let's see, I think we've hit 1 Mythic so far. I heard recently that the average on Mythics is about 3 per box. Now, I have not found that to be true from regular set boxes. This is another good reprint. But maybe that is the case with Conspiracy. Unfortunately, I did not draft any of the original Conspiracy. Well, when it was out originally, I didn't draft any of it. I was able to catch it here and there at LGS events, but was not able to get it originally, and so I couldn't tell you from experience on what the chances are or what the Mythic count was for me. Hopefully, you know, once again in my regular sets, seems like the average is around 5 maybe, and you know, I definitely could have just gotten lucky, but it seems like after about 6 or 7 boxes that 5 has really been pretty constant. Dragon Lair Spider. That reminds me of the newest Friday night skit by Loading Ready Run. I guess it's technically on the Magic YouTube channel, but Loading Ready Run, it's the guys that do it. The latest one was great. Kathleen tries to give a Dragon Lair Spider to someone who's using a black-green commander. Alright. So we got one of the big reprints, show and tell. Very sweet. Then we have the foil Menagerie Liberator. That was pretty cool. So 2 mythics down, about half the box down, and 2 mythics. Once again, the estimated value pretty low on the boxes because of cards like Show and Tell tanking from $40 to $17 or so. But it's always nice whenever you can get one of the better cards, one of the more expensive cards in the set. Always just makes you feel a little bit more like you are getting your value out of it. We do have another mythic. This is one of the 2 conspiracy mythics. I think this is kind of the big one, or at least in my opinion it is. Sovereign's Realm. That actually makes it so you starting hand size smaller, can't have basic lands, but you can exile a card from your hand, and that turn you get to play basic lands from outside of the game. So basically whatever card you exile becomes a basic land. But then the really nice part is that you can run 5 colors with that card, because every basic land taps for any color mana. So with three mythics down, you know, I don't know that they necessarily take into account the conspiracy mythics, just because they are very specific to draft and cube. You know, I said you can use certain cards in Legacy, Vintage, and there's certain cards like that. That's actually pretty funny. Like this one that will almost certainly see play in Vintage and Legacy. But there's also certain cards like all of the conspiracy cards and then any of the draft specific rares that you cannot play in Constructed. I guess I should say the Eternal formats, the Vintage and Legacy, just because they don't make any sense. But you can still play them in Cube, as well as Conspiracy drafts, maybe Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2 mixed drafts. That might be pretty cool. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our second one. Let's see, we're about 13 minutes into. I think we're just going to go ahead and crush this video all in one take. So we'll hit this second half here. We're 3 mythics already, so maybe we can pull off a couple more. And yeah, I think, you know, I have not been naming the cards, but I have been trying to go through all the commons. I think I'm just going to go ahead and skip right to the juicy stuff. Sweet reprint. I am now realizing that we have not, I don't know that we've pulled a single Serum Visions or Inquisition of Kozilek. Thankfully, unlike the Eternal Masters, Modern Masters sets, you don't have to pull them because you can buy them for about $1 a piece now. So, that's pretty nice. Keeper of the Keys, Domesticated Hydra. I'm curious if, I've talked about in my previous openings how you almost always get a foil land, or at least I believe I've always gotten at least one foil land in every box that I've ever opened. With the conspiracies taking the spot of the lands in these packs, it would be interesting if you were, now obviously you're not guaranteed, but the way that it seems is that you're guaranteed a land. It'd be interesting if you're guaranteed a foil Conspiracy. That might be pretty sweet. Splitting Slime. Foil Bonds of Quicksilver. So no real juicy stuff just yet. But we got the Show and Tell. That one's pretty sweet. Wouldn't mind seeing maybe some Planeswalkers. I think the Duretti is going to be sweet. Anybody that watches... Okay, so another Mythic. An Echoing Boom. Not a great reprint, but Avatar of Woe, still pretty cool. Anybody who's been watching the Vintage Super League recently, they've been talking about a lot of the cards in this set, a lot of the new cards. Most likely seeing play, so that might be pretty cool. Well, we're just going to skip right past it. Regal Behemoth. The cards like the, I think both of the Planeswalkers may end up seeing a tad bit of vintage play. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. A Sangromancer. So I think we're four Mythics, and I think one more might get kind of where the average has seemed to be. And we've got a decent chance of doing it. Got some more cards. Let's see, what do we want to see? We want to see a Berserk. You guys probably are going to hate me for saying it, but I have the From the Vault Berserk, and that's good enough for me. A lot of people do not like the From the Vault foiling process. I don't know why, but I actually do. I think it adds a little bit extra to the foils. So I'm actually good on the, well, I guess we're just gonna skip right to it. So Nessian Asp. So yeah, I'm actually pretty good on that front as far as Berserk goes. I'm not surprised that it's so low. I am surprised it's not dropping maybe a little bit further than where it is right now, because it sees such few play in Legacy. I think it's in Infect. I'm sure it's in some more decks that I'm just not used to seeing yet. I mean, I've only been playing Legacy for, I guess about 3 years now, and you really don't see it very often. I've seen it in Legacy, but other than that, it just seems like the price was really just being held up because of the fact that it wasn't printed anywhere that was easy to get to, at least. Harvester of Souls. But now that it's being printed in one of these mass sets like Conspiracy, it seems like it should just be, I guess it is still a Mythic, but it seems like it should just be, you know, virtually free, since it isn't played that much. Alright. We're running pretty cool so far. You know, it is nice because, so you get the Show and Tell and then a few other of the Mythics. Nothing really exciting. But it is nice that this is one of the very few supplemental products that doesn't cost you, you know, $200 for the Modern Masters, $250 for Eternal Masters. So it is nice to just be able to buy it. You know, I think I got this for $82, I believe, online. So, you know, no, you're not going to make your money. Well, that was pretty cool. You're not going to make your money back with these sets, but, ooh, that's a good one. Fleeting Distraction. So this one is one of the new guys that I think it's maybe the third. If you don't count the alternate art, Kaya. I think that's the third most expensive card in the set. But you know, on average, no, you're not going to get your return back for these sets. So I'm not really expecting it, but it is nice. That Sanctum Prelate, you know, that's a lot. The Serum Visions was nice to kind of end on. We got one of them. I still don't think we got a single Inquisition. So what do we really want here? Oh, something else that I just realized. Now, you could just chalk this up to me not paying enough attention, but I think that you almost always get a foil rare, and I don't believe I've gotten a foil rare yet. So that's pretty interesting. Once again, I'm sure that it's not a guaranteed thing, but it just seems like it all fits in with the averages. We got 3 more sets to make it happen, but I guess Conspiracy is just bucking all the trends. So let's see, we're gonna jump back here. What do we want to see? An Inquisition? All right, another Ghostly Prison. Okay, so here's a good example. So this is what we were talking about earlier, and I'm sure that I've drafted another one since, but so this is one of those cards that you can only play in draft, and you see it took the rare slot. So that's kind of what people were not super pumped about, just because, you know, you would expect more value out of cards that are, you know, going to see play in other formats besides draft and cube. Okay, so oh yeah, that would be my fault. I completely forgot that it was rare shifted to rare. So, well, that was still pretty sweet. Ending on a pretty good note, the Inquisition. Once again, you know, no, it's not expensive anymore, but cool to get it. Just nice to have reprints, especially for somebody like me. I play a lot of cubes, especially a lot of casual formats. I think there's a foil in this. What are the chances it's a foil rare? That's pretty good. So the trend continues. I don't know. I have no idea if it's a real trend or not, but it just seems like there's a good amount of rare, or there's one rare foil, a couple uncommon foils, and then a bunch of common foils. But I guess that's going to be it. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know, I'd say as far as getting up to $82, I really don't think that I got there, but you got the Show and Tell, the Sanctum Prelate, pretty sweet stuff. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed the opening. Let me know if you have any more ideas. I might do another one of these just because I like to draft it. And so I open them up, and then the wife and I do some pretty cool 2-player drafts with cards that are already open. But that's for another time. Once again, just leave a comment if you have anything in mind, something that I need to open. But I hope you guys have a great day.